Okay. So what are JMeter variables? Chandu, you have Chandu? Huh? Yeah, what are JMeter variables? Radish?
Function name, thread num.
Function name, thread number. Sai?
All correlation values and parameterization values are under comes into the JMeter variables.
Right. So all the correlation, so you do some correlation and parameterizations in a script, right? So
Yeah.
all those variables are called JMeter variables. And when we say scope means JMeter. What is the scope of those JMeter variables? They are local to a thread, to each thread. Local to each thread means, okay. So let me explain with the example. So you have different threads here, right? So one thread group is like login and navigation. The other one is random flight ticket booking, and thread group is user registration. Now, if you have some variables over here, right? So you created some JMeter variables. The first one is correlation. You do correlation, right? You correlate the session ID, right? You correlated the session ID, right?
Yes, sir.
So where do we do that? We have it in nav.pl, right? So this is one JMeter variable. C underscore user session is one with JMeter variable, right? And the scope of this variable is limited to this particular thread only, right? So C
Yes.
underscore user session, we used it in login and navigation, as well as here also. It will be there here also, right? Random flight ticket booking also.
Yeah.
So, but one second, let me show this one. Yeah. So you have C underscore user session here as well. Now, the scope of the variable, the scope of this variable is limited to only this thread group, or to this script, right? In the same way, the scope of this variable is limited to this variable C underscore this user session. This is limited to only this script or this thread. Is it clear? Means
Yeah.
even though you use same name, it doesn't have any impact, right? And also, you can't access this variable in another from another thread group, because the scope of this variable is limited to only this thread or this thread group. Clear?
Yes.
And the values may be same for each thread, or the values may be same for each thread, or they may be different, right? So referencing a variable in a test element is done by bracketing the variable name with, so we use this multiple times, right? Referencing a variable in a test element means, if you want to use any variable, we use that with this dollar symbol, curly brace and closing curly brace, right? Right. If a variable is updated by a thread, only the thread copy of the variable is changed, right? If a variable is updated by a thread, for example, if a variable is updated by a thread means, so for each thread, for each thread group, or for each iteration, this value changes, right? User session changes for every user, right? Or for every thread, right? Thread and the user, right?
User. Yes.
See, here like thread means user, right? Right? If a variable is updated by a thread or a user, right? Thread is nothing but an user, right? Only the thread copy of the variable is changed. Is it clear? Is this
Yes.
point clear?
Yes. Yes.
Right? And for example, the regular expression extractor post processor will set its variables according to the sample that its thread has read, and these can be used later by the same thread. So you know all these points, okay? So you know, like let me explain again. So regular expression extractor post processor, for example, the regular expression extractor post processor will set its variables according to the sample that its thread has read, and these can be used later by the same thread. See, simple. What does that mean? Is suppose you use some regular expression extractor post processor, right? So where did we use regular expression for? Did we use any, or else boundary extractor post processor also? Boundary extractor is also a post processor, right? Some boundary extractor or regular expression extractor. Okay. So what do you mean? What do I mean to say there is? Let me search for some regular expression or boundary extractor post processor. Yeah. So suppose this is one boundary extractor, is one post processor, right? Guys,
Yes, sir.
right? So here we captured one, we did some correlation and captured the outbound flight value, right? We created some outbound flight value, which is a JMeter variable. Now this variable can be used by the subsequent request, right? And this is limited to only that particular user. Agree?
Yes, sir.
This is this C underscore outbound flight value that will be used by only that particular user, right? If a
Yes.
user updates that, he will use that in the next request, and the scope of this variable is limited to only that particular user, right? So that's what this slide means, or this point means. Okay, next. So this is important, guys. So okay, or else I'll do one thing. Let's go. Okay. So we are speaking about JMeter variables and their scope. Okay, scope also here, right? Scope means, what is the scope of JMeter variable?
Range.
Thread group.
Each thread,
Thread group.
No, not thread group actually. So we can say that scope is limited to each thread, means each user.
Okay.
Okay. So next comes like properties, JMeter properties. Okay. So JMeter properties, I will let me explain with an example that also. So properties are global to JMeter, right? So here, if you observe here, JMeter variables are local to each thread, right? Whereas properties are global to
Global.
JMeter, right? Global to JMeter, and are mostly used to define some of the defaults JMeter uses, right? For example, the property remote host defines the server that JMeter will try to run remotely. Let me use some example where we use this, the JMeter properties. Okay, let me. So if you observe the screenshot, see here, number of threads, So number of threads, we are using a property over here with letter capital P, right? Dollar symbol, curly brace. This is double underscore capital P. So P stands for property here, and number of threads comma 1, right? So let me explain where we need, where these properties come handy. Where do we need to use these JMeter properties? So when you are debugging when you are developing the script, like you will be running in GUI mode, right? But when you are running a test, you will be running in non-GUI mode, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You're running the test in non-GUI mode, right? Now, suppose like you, so while so when you are doing a dry run, right? So let me change this. This is load test scenario. When you are doing a dry run or smoke test, you run with only limited number of users, right? You run with only limited number of users, like 50 or 100, and you can run in GUI mode, correct?
Yeah.
You can, because dry run, when you're running the test, you have to see like what are the results, like if there are any failed requests, or if there are any, it's good like if you see everything in GUI mode, right? So that is possible only with GUI mode. So with the dry run, you will be running in GUI mode. You can run in GUI mode because you will be running with only 100 users or 200 users, which is fine, right? But when you are running a load test, right? So coming to the load test, you may be running with some 500 or 1000 users or 2000 or 5000, right? As per the requirement, right? When you're doing a load test. So, you and it is always recommended to run a load test in non-GUI mode, right?
Execution.
Right. So, it's clearly mentioned in the JMeter console. For load testing, use CLI mode, or CLI means
Command line
Command
interface.
line interface.
right, we have to use command line interface mode or non-GUI mode, right? So by using this command, so it's clearly mentioned in the JMeter console itself. Also, that is one of the best practices with JMeter, right? You can refer to you can refer to this link. What are the JMeter best practices, right? So copy this link and go through this link, okay? These are the JMeter best practices. Always use latest version of JMeter, use the correct number of threads, where to use cookie manager. So go through all these the best practices. We covered most of them. All right. So go through these JMeter best practices, right? So one of the major, JMeter best practices, like we have to run the test in load test in non-GUI mode, right? Now, when you're running a load test in non-GUI mode, right? So you have assume that and also you will be running this test in remote machines mostly, right? For example, if you are running a test for an US client, right? So you will be running this test from their machines, US data center, right?
Execution.
Right. So you are testing an application for a US client, right? And assume that that application is accessible, will have most of their users in US only, different geographies in US, right? Or you are doing a load test for UK client, right? So you will be running the test from load generators in UK or machines which are in UK, right? You will not be
Yeah.
running from your local machines or your from your network. Agree?
Yeah.
Execution.
Right. So now you ran a you ran some 500 user test, and later on, first initially you ran some 500 user test. Now the next test you want to run is like 750 or 1000, right? So first what you do, like if you want to run 500 user test, you mention like 500 users here, and ramp up period you mention some per second one user ankon. For every 1 second, if you want to ramp up one user, like you keep ramp up period as 500, right?
Yes.
Right. And loop count, like if you click infinite, like it will, what happens if you keep loop count as infinite?
It run forever.
Hmm?
It
Will
will
continue.
run until we stop it manually.
Right. So it will run continuously till we stop the test. Manually we stop the test, right? So if not, like, we will use specified thread lifetime. So here you can mention the duration, test duration. You got it? Suppose you want to run a test for 1 hour. So you have to specify here number of seconds, 1 hour in number of seconds.
Yes.
What is 1 hour in seconds?
3600.
Right? You mentioned the
3600.
value as 3600 here, right? And you copy the script to the remote machine, right? And you run the test for that much duration. Now, after 500 user test, suppose assume that 500 user test went fine, right? Now you want to run like a 750 user test. Okay. Now what you have to do? If if you hard code the values like this, what you have to do now? You have to change these values in your local machine, and you have to copy the scripts again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for every time, for every load test, you cannot, that is tedious, right? So if you want to change the values in GUI mode and copy the scripts, right? That is tedious job, right? So next, if you want to run 1000 again, you have to modify the values in local machine, and you have to copy to the remote machines, right? Agree?
Yes.
Sure.
So now to overcome this, right? So you can use properties file, JMeter properties, this JMeter properties. So what you can do is you can define these as properties. You can define the number of threads, ramp up period, or loop count, right? Or this, scheduler. So this is a screenshot from a previous version. So previously it was scheduler and undi, right? Now it is specified thread lifetime. It is changed as specified thread lifetime. Okay. So basically it used to be in previous versions, it used to be like scheduler. Scheduler, you got it? Scheduler is where we specify the duration, test duration.
Yes.
Okay. So now how we can do is, how can we use properties is, we like we define these as properties, right? Let me instead of hard coded values, so you will give dollar symbol, curly brace, double underscore, capital P, right? Followed by some number of threads, right? Comma, you give some, like this is default value. Suppose if you so if you don't okay, I'll come to this. So you give some default value over here, right? And then you close this function, right? And then close the curly brace, right? Now in the same way, now ramp up period also you can define as a property, capital P, you give as a ramp up, comma, say some 100 or 50, or I will say 100. What happens if you give number of threads as 50 and ramp up period as 100? How it will work?
100
For
by
every
Then
2
for every 2
seconds.
seconds, one user will start.
Right. For every 2 seconds, one new user will start. Right. One user will be ramped up for every 2 seconds. Right. Now, so we define now, we instead of hard coding the values, we defined as properties, and observe here, these are default values. Means if you don't specify any value in the command prompt, these values will be taken as default. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Suppose, I give here, we should give in seconds, right? Say for example, let Let me define a property for this also. Suppose you give like 10 minutes, right? Sorry, 60 seconds as default, right? Right, and you do that for all the, you can do that for all the scripts. Okay, you can copy this for all the scripts. Okay, or else if you want to give different property names for different scripts, you have to specify, you have to change the name. Login, navigation, number of threads, you can give login and navigation here. Num threads, login, navigation. So here you can give num threads, ticket booking, like that, something like that, right? Now what you will do is, so you can, or else let's assume that for this scenario, let us assume that we are using, we are using the same for same properties for all the threads, for all the thread groups. Means we want to run the test for same duration for all the scripts, right? Specify thread time.
Loop count, Kishan.
So when you specify this, thread lifetime, okay. So when you save this, observe here, this is getting checked. See, even though you uncheck it, when you specify this thread lifetime, right, and save the script, observe here, this is getting checked, but it will run for only this duration. Even though that infinite got checked, it will run for only 60 seconds now with this setting. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Kishan.
No? I'm removing this value loop count. So sorry. Right now, once you specify the properties, how you can run the test is, so let me copy these properties. I'll do one thing. I will disable this user registration script, because these two scripts we can run, but for this script we need user IDs, right? And also I'll keep this as 10. Okay. I'll give default values as 10 for login and navigation in the script. Okay. We can change it from the command prompt. And also you have to make sure that you have enough enough credentials in the script. Okay, because like when you are using like number of threads as 10, and if you have, let me check how many users are there in this, user IDs are there in this, 5.3 pinning vectors. This is fine. We have like 100 values in login navigation credentials.csv. This is the CSV file that is being used, right? And next come into random flight ticket booking. Web2s underscore random flight ticket booking credentials.csv. Yeah, so this file also we have around 100 values. Fine. Right now we avoided hard coding the values and we are using properties now. Is it clear where all we use properties?
Yes, Kishore.
Yes. Right now, so. Okay, so let me first run in GUI mode first, just to show you. This is just to show you like how many users are running per, for each script. Okay, so here we gave 10 users as default, and for okay, we'll do one thing. Login and navigation will give 10. Random flight booking will give 5 users. And let me run in GUI mode first. Okay, this is just to show you like active threads over time. You got it? Is able to follow?
Yes, Kishore.
Sure.
Just to show you that these properties are working fine. And like to make you understand what is this default value means, what do yeah, so let me run the script. So I started web tools and let's start the test. Cookie manager is checked and cache manager is also checked. And two threads users. I'll change this, load test results file name. I'll change it. I'll create a new file. Okay, so now let's start the test. You know why you get this warning, right? The file already exists. What do you want to do, right? See the file, read this file name. The file web2's load test results 12th December already exists. What do you want to do, right? So, like if you want to, if you click on this append to existing file, what happens is the current test results will be appended to the existing file, right? If you want to overwrite the previous test results, you can use this overwrite existing file. Or if you don't want to start the test, or if you want to rename the results file, right, you can click on don't start and you can do whatever modifications you want and then you can start it again. Is it clear what is the purpose of these three options?
Yes, Kishore.
Yes.
Right, don't start means like test will not be stopped if you click on don't start. If you click overwrite existing file, all the previous results will be overwritten by the current test results, right? When you say append to existing file, it will be appended at the end of the file. The current test results will be appended at the end of the file. Clear?
Yes.
Error occurred starting thread group. Error message invalid duration 0 set in thread group. Login and navigation, right? In WebTools login and navigation script. And also random flight ticket booking. Okay, so see here, so this is the issue. So here by mistake I used curly brace. You got it right?
Yeah.
After P I gave like curly brace by mistake. That's what it is saying, invalid time certain. Okay. I clear the log file and start the test. All right, now you can see that. Okay. Let me close this log file. So you should see the test should be started. Yeah, now all the two scripts are started. You can see random flight ticket booking is represented by pink color and this login and navigation by with red color, right? Random flight ticket booking, 10 users. I give 10 users for random flight ticket booking, and for like this, sorry, random flight ticket booking, I gave 5 users, right? Num threads has 5, right? And
Yeah.
login and navigation I gave as 10. And you can see like 5 users are running for random flight ticket booking and 10 users are running for login and navigation, correct? And I gave the duration as
60 seconds.
60 seconds, right? So that is 1 minute, right? So now you can see the test was run for 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
So now you can see, it's confirmed that, these properties are working fine, right? Yes or no? Login and
Yeah.
navigation, we gave number of users as 10. So you can see that over here, login and navigation script is represented by red color here. And you can see it ran with 10 users. How much time it took for ramping up? We gave as 20 seconds, right? Ramp up period as 20 seconds. It was given as 20 seconds. So approximately by 20 seconds, all the 10 users are ramped up. Now for this random flight ticket booking, I gave like 5 users, and you can see the same thing over here in active threads over time. Everyone added this, plugin, right? This comes with a plugin active threads over time,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right? And you can see like, this script run with 10 users, login and navigation run with 10 users, and random flight ticket booking is run with 5 users. And you can see like as we gave ramp up, as we gave duration, test duration as 60 seconds, right? The test was run for approximately 60 seconds, right?
Yes.
Okay, now we will run this test in non-JM mode. Now what you do is, once you verify this properties are working fine, so what you can do is you will copy this script to the remote machine. So you have assume that you are running test for a US client or UK client. You will copy this script to the remote machines, to the data center, to their data center, right? And like let me build that command for that. So assume that you copied the script to the remote machine, and now and when you are running a load test, actual load test, assume that you have to give for this script login and navigation, you have to run with some 50 users, 100 users, and this script you have to run with 50 users, right? Guys, able to follow?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Right? So how can you do that? Suppose like you have to, okay, or else let's assume that you have to run all the scripts with 50 users. Okay, you have to run all the script with 50 users. Now how can you do that is, you copied these properties, right? So I have to change this, right? Now what first, first copy the command for, okay, so instead of copying, you will tell me the command. So yeah, Chandu, so what is the command for running a test in non-GA mode?
JMeter
Right?
space hyphen
Hmm.
m
Hmm.
hyphen
Hmm.
t
Okay.
file name
What file name? Which file name?
The file which you are using, the current file.
Yeah, the test plan name.
Okay.
Test plan. So this is nothing but test plan, right?
Ah,
This is your test plan name, right? So .give.jmx, give the extension, right? This is your test plan name. Okay, next.
space -L.
Hmm.
And then again the file name
Which file name
with
here?
test data.
Test data.
Non
Results file.
the results file.
You have to give the results file name here, right? So where is your results file name? So you gave it over here, right? Hmm. Yeah. Next.
Extension JTL.
Hmm. Next.
That's it.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to create a report like at the end of the test, you will give -e-o also, right?
Okay.
You want to create a result file at the HTML report at the end of the test, you will use this -e followed by -o, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So for now, let's ignore them. Now we know, like, if I want to specify like, okay. So what I gave here, login and navigation, I gave number of users as 10, and I gave number of, for this script I gave number of, okay, I'll make this as 5. Okay, these are the default values, right? I gave number of for random flight ticket booking, I gave num threads as 5. Now what I will do is I want to run the test with some 50 users for each 50 users for each script or for each thread group, right? You got it?
Yeah.
Yes. Right, now I have to tell that in the command prompt now, right? So I should not go open the script, because like generally data center machines will be in Linux environment. There will be Linux boxes. Okay, generally the US data center or UK data center, those machines will be Linux boxes. Okay, so you cannot open the script over there because it doesn't have any UI. Or like you have to copy the scripts to the remote machine and you have to modify it here and again copy to the remote machines. Clear? Is it clear what I mean to say?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Can you repeat once, Kishore?
So you ran the test in, like with some 10 users, right? This is just a dry run with 10 users for this script, login and navigation, and 5 users for this script from the local machine, right? Now you want to, you copied the script to the remote machine already, and you ran from the, you have to, like local machine lo run chesam kada ani, you cannot run the test directly, because you have to copy the scripts and you have to run the scripts from remote machine also. You have to do a smoke test from remote machine also, right? To check the
Okay.
connectivity issues, right? And we don't know what issues we may face from the remote machines when you run for the first time, right?
Yeah.
So you will run it from the remote machine. You ran the script from remote machine and assume that that is a Linux box. Most of the data centers and like test environments will be having Linux boxes, or operating system will be Linux only. Clear?
Yeah.
Right? So you can't open and script you cannot open in GUI mode there, right?
Yes.
So now you have to change this number of threads to 50. You have to run the script, both the scripts with 50 users, and ramp up you have to give 100 seconds, and you want to run the test for, say for example, like half an hour. Okay,
Okay.
now you have to build the command for that, right? So without changing in the script, without opening the script in GUI mode, you have to manage that. the way how you do is by using this JMeter properties. By using this JMeter properties, right? And observe here, properties are global to JMeter and are mostly used to define some of the defaults JMeter uses, right? They are global to JMeter first of all. And this is the syntax: dollar curly brace and double underscore capital P, prop name means property name. Prop name means property name, and the next field is default value, right? If you don't specify any value for this property, it will take this as the default value. That means if you run the script now with this command, what values, okay, let me copy what values are there by default here. Login and navigation key, you have number of threads as 10, right? Ramp up as 20. So it will take those default values, means it will run the script with 10 users and ramp up period as 20 and duration as
60.
60 seconds. That is 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
Clear? If you don't specify any properties in this command. Clear? Shall we try and shall we run this one time?
Yeah.
Obviously మీరు GUI mode లో రన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏదైతే తీసుకుందో అదే వాల్యూస్ తీసుకుంటుంది డిఫాల్ట్ గా. Yes or no? GUI mode లో రన్ చేసినప్పుడు what values it has taken the values over here, right? మనం ఇచ్చిన 10 second 10 number of threads as 10 and ramp up period 20 ఇవే తీసుకుంది కదా.
Yes, Kishore.
Right? In the same way, when you run in non-GUI mode also, it will take the default values only. Now you want to run this test. Is it clear up to there, everyone?
Yeah.
Right? Now you want to run the test with some 50 users. 50 users and ramp up duration as 100, right? Ramp up duration as 100, and like you want to run the test for half an hour. So half an hour means 30 into 60, that is 1800 seconds. Clear? Yes, clear. Is it clear?
Yes.
This is your requirement. You have to run a test initially for half an hour with 50 users, and ramp up should be like 100 seconds.
Yes.
Means for each second 2 users should ramp up. Now how to specify, how to pass that properties to this command, right? Is you use -J, capital J, remember this capital J, right? And you specify this property num threads అని ఇచ్చాం కదా, that's what we gave, right? Num threads ramp up duration, right? -J followed by num threads, capital J, I think I did not copy this. Num threads is equal to 50, right? And -J ramp up is equal to 100 and -J duration is equal to 1800 as per your requirement. This is your requirement. Okay, on script lo em icham, we gave num threads as 10 for one script and ramp up as 20 and duration as 60 seconds. These are the values we gave in the script, but we want to run the test for 50 users for 100 and ramp up. Those 50 users should be ramped up in 100 seconds and the test should run for 1800 seconds, which is nothing but 30 minutes. Now you pass the values like this. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Kishore.
Right, so let me check, okay, let me confirm whether we have to pass the properties here or after the test plan name. 1 second. But that is how you pass the you pass those property values. you use -j followed by the property name. Okay, so let me confirm. Yeah. So -n -t after test plan you have to give the properties. That's why I got it out. Okay. So you have to, your command should be something like this. You have to pass these values at JMeter -n-t test plan. After test plan name, you can pass the properties like this. Yes. Hold on. So already we created one results file, right? So I'll give some other name. 12th December results file. Or 12th December properties. Using properties. I mention as using properties. The test results file name I am giving it using properties. Right? Now you run this command from the hold on. So you will run from the JMeter bin folder, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is how you can pass the properties, guys. Is it clear? Is this clear?
So
Yes, Kishan.
Now you know if you want to run the test, right? You will run it from JMeter bin folder. So you know, but you have this. You see, you run from JMeter bin folder, right? This is where you start the test because your JMeter batch file is over here, right? Now, but you know your script is in web tools folder, right? So you have to give the relative path, right? You have to give relative path, right?
Yeah.
How you give relative path?
//
So script ఎక్కడ ఉన్నదో you have to give the relative path because script is not there in JMeter bin folder. If it is in JMeter bin folder, this command will work fine without any doubt. Here, but you know, like the script is in web tools folder, so you have to specify the relative folder. How you specify relative folder?
forward
Put
slash.
a dot represents current directory, right? In current directory you have a folder called web tools. So in that web tools folder you have this jmx file. That what this means, dot represents current directory, and in current directory you have a folder called web tools. In that web tools folder you have this script, right? Clear? So this is called as relative path. The same way, you know, let it create the results file also in that folder, web tools folder only. Now copy this command and go to JMeter bin folder, right? So this is just to verify that you know your this command is working fine, right? You got it right. So because you will not have geo in Linux machine like this, you cannot go to this folder and you know you have to use all commands only. You have to use command prompt only, right? Able to follow? So let me explain. So ikkada as this is Windows OS, I am going to this folder and opening command prompt. If it is a Linux boss, how will you do? So you open a command prompt, right? And you use cd command to go to this directory. Suppose if I want to go to this directory, no, this directory. Sorry. If you want to go to this directory, what you do is, you know, you
Change
open
command.
first and you have to use cd
Change.
dot dot. First you have to go to D drive, right? So is it clear?
Yeah.
So CD, we first need to go to C drive, right? You went to D colon How to go to D drive? How to go to D drive? See, I am in C drive now. D drive lo uses Pavan ane folder lo unnanu. How to go to D drive? Either you can use cd dot dot. Cd dot dot means what happens? It will go
Back.
up one folder, right, to the parent folder. Again, if you cd dot dot, it will go to C. Right now, if you want to, or else from C drive, you can also go to D drive also. Right, but I don't remember the command at the moment. So no, it is still in C drive. CD.
Kishore, now it will work, Kishore, if you give the path.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు బిన్ అనే ఫోల్డర్లోకి వెళ్ళాలా?
డి డ్రైవ్ లో టూల్స్ ఈ పాత్ కి వెళ్ళాలి.
ఒకసారి బిన్ పక్కన పెట్టి అక్కడ సిఎండి అని నొక్కాను ఒకసారి.
అది వస్తుంది. ఐ నో దట్. నేను లైనక్స్ బాక్స్ లో ఎలా చేస్తారో ఐఎమ్ షోయింగ్ దట్. ఐ వాంట్ టు షో యూ.
ఓకే.
Forgot this Windows basic commands. Okay. Fine. So assume that you are in that folder, right? And how you use this command is you are in JMeter bin folder now. Now you can use this command, whatever command you have, right? So observe here, number of threads we are giving as 50, ramp up as 100, and test duration is 1800. Okay, or else I'll make it 5 minutes. Okay, so that we can. Otherwise, we have to wait till half an hour, right? That's why I will make it as 5 minutes. 5 minutes is nothing but 300 seconds, right? Okay, now the test is started, right? So if there is any issue with this num threads or any syntax issues, like it will show like it could not start the test. You will face an error. But you can see here, it is creating summarizer and created the tree successfully. You got this message, means starting standalone test at so and so time. This means the test is started successfully, right? Understood?
Yes, Kishore.
You got this message, means test is started successfully. But you want to see how many users are created, how many users are running, right? So how can you check that? Suppose you want to see like how many users are running, or you want to check whether the test is really running or not. How can you check that? You created one results file, right? 12 December using properties any.
Yeah.
That results file should be created in web tools. Okay, see here, it is created, right?
Yes.
And if you want to see like how many users the test is running, yeah, please give me a moment. So you want to see if the test is running or not, right? You can go to jmeter.log, right? And you open this, in Notepad++, right? Now see here, you can see like random flight ticket booking. See the time, 9:20:54, right? We started the test around like at 9:20 approximately, right? And you can see like the test is running with, see, you can see the number here, right? You can see the number of users for random flight ticket booking as 50, right?
Yeah.
Hey, something error while generating result. Bound must be positive. Okay, we'll see what is that error. But you can see here, right? So number of random flight ticket booking, like it was run with 50 users, right? And how about the other script? Login and navigation also, you can see it ran with 50 users. All right. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
You can see in the log file, jmeter.log, you can see like with how many users the test is running like this, right? You can see both the scripts, like 50 users are ramped up for both the scripts. Here. And it will run for 5 minutes, right? So let it run. So it is started, test is started at what time the test is started? See here, test is started at
920.
9:20, right? Starting thread group 1. The first thread group is login and navigation. Starting 50 threads for this group, right? And then you have one more starting thread group 2. This is random flight ticket booking, right? And you can see starting 50 threads for this group. Thread will continue on error. Thread will continue on error. Why you are seeing that message is because of this. Action to be taken after a sampler error continue అని ఇచ్చాము అవునా.
Yes.
That's why it is showing thread will continue on error, right? And thread started random flight ticket booking 2 of 1 means second thread group first user, one user, right? That's what it means. Okay, and it is using this file credentials.csv. So and you can see like all the there is some exception in the script. What is this? Illegal bound must be positive. We'll see what is this error. C underscore outbound flight, there is some issue with that. So let it be. We'll see. Let us check like in which script is this?
Random flight booking.
C underscore outbound flight. Click flights button, go to itinerary. Okay, this is login and navigation. Here it will not be there, obviously. Login navigation lo undadu. It will be there in over here only, right? So what is the issue with this? Right, only the match number is 0. What is the issue with this one? Did we pass the same thing over here? C underscore outbound flight. Let's Google for this error. What is this error? Okay, the test is still running. We will stop it soon, like 9:20, around 9:20 it started, right? So let it run. Okay, maybe some users are failing to log in. Failing to log in, or say that. Did we handle that condition here? Like say both cities same aithe, did we handle that condition over here in this case? Did that in if controller, right? What is the CSV file? Random flight ticket booking credentials.csv. I think I opened it just now, right? Random flight ticket booking credentials.csv. For user one, for password one, we have this user name. But outbound flight का करेंगे follow करेंगे. For user one. Okay, we'll see the results file. Once the test is completed, we'll see the results file. What is the error? Get to know what is that error. Okay. Test is not stopping. Okay. Again, this is some issue with 5.3 version. So you can see the test is not stopping. Then go to web tools and see the results file. Yeah, you can see the results file got updated, right? I'm stopping the test. Okay. So test should be completed by this time. We gave time as
5 minutes now.
time that we do 300 seconds means 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes. So that should be stopped by this time. Let's see the log file, jmeter.log. Okay, so test is stopped actually, but it is not showing in the command prompt. Got it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
See, notifying test listeners of end of the test. You got this message means test is stopped. Here you can see all the threads are finished. All the 50 threads are finished, and if you see this message notifying test listeners of end of the test, that means test is stopped, right? And it is closing the credentials file, right? And it created a summary. Okay, test is stopped, but somehow like it is not showing in the command prompt. Okay, in such cases you can type use Control C, right? And actually you should see this message. E message రావాలి మీకు. If the test is stopped, after stopping the test, you should get this message. Summary is equal to any. You should see the summary and tidying up and end of run and hour, right? But what is happening is JVM should have exited but did not. The following non-daemon threads are still running. Destroy JVM is open. So leave it. This is a tool specific issue or version specific issue, not tool also. Maybe like 5.3 we have this issue. We'll try with 5.4 tomorrow. Okay, the next time we will try with 5.4 and see. So now the test is completed and you have the results file. Now what you can do is you go to the results file, you open that results file of so let me clear this, the old results, and go to open that. This is the results file that we used at 12 December using properties. Something, oh, this which failed. Oh, maybe there is some change in the IP address. Yeah, maybe there is change in the IP address or something. Let me check. What is the error. Response data. The test failed completely.
Check the IP address.
Maybe the IP address has changed. That's it. No. No, IP address is same. 192.168.0.134 only. Okay. 134. Hold on. 1 second. -j, there is no space actually. Yeah. I'll remove the results file once. Right, so I'll remove this. I will, so maybe like that is because of this we use some space between the j and -j and the properties. Let's run this test again. Go to pin folder, open a command prompt. Okay, so let's see the results file once. Okay, so let me open the results file, clearing the previous one. Okay, and what is this error? Array index out of bound exception. JMeter -n -t test plan.jmx. Okay, so followed by properties. This is something different. -j followed by prop name is equal to value. Yeah, this is usage is correct. -j, there is no space. -j followed by property name followed by value is equal to value. So the usage is correct. This webtools is also running by hey. Did I start webtools? Okay. So web tools was stopped actually. That is the issue. How this web tools got stopped? Okay. So this is the issue. So web tools server is not running. That's why all the scripts are failing. We have one AOS script also, right? Okay. Anyways, so this command is correct. Okay, so this is 100% correct. Okay, so -j you should give, without space you should pass the properties like this, right? So all the properties you have to keep -j followed by that property name followed by value, right? And you can try this command. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll give it in, like we will run a test for AOS application tomorrow. And we have one script for AOS also, right? We'll run the test for AOS tomorrow with this script for each controller demo. Or else, okay, let's do it now. So I told you right yesterday, like today we'll have 2-hour session. So let's start that AOS script. First let us check whether this application is working. All right, so let me check if this advantage online shopping is working or not. All right, okay. Yeah, so now tell me how to use the properties. Yes.
Number,
Number of threads.
Yeah.
dollar,
Okay.
curly brace,
Mhm.
double underscore, capital P,
Right.
braces, normal brace.
Now,
Normal price only. I give normal price.
Okay. Num threads and default value like 10 seconds. No, sorry, number of users. Default value
Give some
10.
5. Okay,
Yeah.
5. No, that is some default. You can give 1 also.
Yeah.
So
Closer braces.
next.
Dollar,
Chandu.
curly
dollar,
brace,
Chandu.
brace, double underscore.
Now,
Tell me
hello?
the command.
Oh,
Ramp up, say for example 1. That is 1 second. Right?
yes, need to specify thread timeline.
Yeah.
dollar,
Dollar, curly braces,
10 to start చేస్తాను.
double hyphen,
Stay the
its duration. And
You
we
can
need
give
this.
any name here. Okay, duration
Okay.
right? So you can give touch duration or sorry. You can give any name here. Okay, comma Let's give
Specify
some,
the time, how much time we need
let's
to
give some 60 seconds, right? Yeah.
post the loops.
Okay, now copy this. First copy the, from the JMeter console, copy this one, right? Right. Now, what is the script name? Right. So we have in AOS. This is the script name, right? That is our script name, right? That is in AOS folder. So that's why I have to give AOS.
Backslash Kishore.
Dot
Backslash.
slash.
Yeah. Dot backslash, correct. Then next, the results file name. Let's create a results file name. Dot refers to current directory. In current directory, you have a folder called AOS.
A1s.
Here, that you want to create a results file name, right? AOS test results. Give some name, test results.jtl, right? And so after after the test plan name, give -j followed by -j followed by the
Property name.
Properties.
threads is the properties, right? Give some 10, okay?
-j.
Ramp up.
Ramp up also will give us 10. Yes.
-j duration. Test duration. They
Test duration.
Better copy paste from the script, okay? Don't type it, okay? If there are any typos again, that will be gone, right? So test duration I will give as like 300. So that is nothing but 5 minutes,
5 minutes.
right? So now this is the results file name. So let's run this. Okay. So for each controller demo.jms. Before that, let's run the script once. Okay. So we gave number of threads as 1, ramp up as 1, and duration. So let's verify the script, to make sure that it is working fine. Okay. I think because of time, think time it is taking. Oh, think time is 0. Okay. Let's put some think time. How to put think time? I want to put some 5 seconds or random think time of 5 to 10 seconds. How can I put that?
Functions.
Dollar
Hmm.
curly braces, double underscore,
Double underscore.
random,
Okay. Yes. Suppose I want to give like 1 second to 5 seconds as think time.
comma,
Okay.
close the braces.
Then is this correct? Okay, this is working fine, right? the script is working fine, and you can see like 11 products on there will be 11 products in laptops page, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, right? Or you can see in the, if you add a summary report, you can see that, right? You add a listener called aggregate report or
Summary.
summary report, then you can see the number of samples over there, right? Anyways, so we verified that the script is okay. Let me do one thing. Let me run the script once, because we added thing time. Okay, so right, so you can see like homepage, laptops page, they're executed once, and now as there are 11 products, you can see this sample repeated like 11 times, right? You remember that? You remember that, right? That AOS application. You go
Yes,
to
sir.
laptop page, and like there will be 11 products in the laptop page, right? So you have these 11 products, and it will iterate for, that's why it iterates for 11 iterations, that for each controller. Okay. Now, so let me add, like that, what is that? Like 2 threads for time also. And to verify, once we run the script, I want to verify like how many users it was run. So that's why I'm adding this, active threads over time. Okay. Now let's run the script in non-GM mode using the properties. Fine. So JNum threads is 10. I gave ramp up as 10. Let me run the script now. So yes. So yeah, I already copied the command. Okay, for each controller demo. Let's run this test. Right, so you can see like it started the test at 9:52. Started the test at 9:52. Right, and you can verify the log file if you want to see like how many users it is running. You can see here, right? You see somewhere the script name. Where is the script name? Group. Okay, of course. So ikkada we didn't change the name, right? That's why it is not showing the script name over there. But you can see like the test is started, thread group 1 of 2. So you can see 10 users ramped up now, right? And also it should have created a results file, right?
Yeah.
This is your results file that it created. Okay, so now you can see the size of the file is 195 KB, right? Now let me open this results file. So you need not wait till end of the test. Okay, the test is still running, right? So test is started at what time? Test is started at what time? Oh,
9:52, 33.
The test is stopped. So you can see here notifying test listeners of end of the test means the test is stopped, and you can see the summary report as well. Okay. Now, so let's open that results file. Let's open that results file. In first, let me open in view results tree. Okay, so this is test results.jtl file. Right, you can see all the requests passed. Fine. And let me open in summary report. You can open the same summary results file in this also. Right, and you can see there are no errors. You can see there are no errors, right? In the errors column, you don't see any errors, right?
Yeah.
And you can see the average min max response times, right? And let's see the active threads over time also. You can open the same results file. These are all listeners only, right? So I can use the same JTL file, right? Now you can see the test ran with 10 users, right?
Yes.
Right. And what is the ramp up time we gave? Ramp up time we gave as 10
10
seconds.
seconds.
And you can see, users started at this time, right? And you can see, like, all the 10 users are ramped up by this time. They should be 10 seconds approximately, right? And you can see the test is run for 5 minutes, right? The test is run for only 1 minute.
1 minute.
Right? What is the value we gave there? What is the duration we gave? Duration we gave as test duration. We give test duration annam ikkada. It took default time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then one more time, test 2 results. Okay, I will give the name as test 2 results. It should work actually. There is no issue with the syntax or anything. Test duration. I copied only, right? I think I copied the properties only, right? So something issue with this over here. Dollar curly brace double underscore p capital P test duration comma 60. So 60 is the default time that it takes. Sorry, that will be. We can use JMeter 4, but JMeter 4 key, we don't have those plugins and all, so it will fail. We downloaded JMeter 4, right? We can use that also, but jar files, we have to copy those jar files. We downloaded some plugins for JMeter 5.3, right? So we have to do that for like JMeter 4 also if you want to use that. So I gave the file name as test2 results. All right. Okay, I got it. So that is because of loop count is 1 here. Okay, that's why like it was stopping at like after 60 seconds. So it is running only for one iteration actually. Okay, so that's the reason like hold on. So you have to select this specified thread lifetime, and then only this will work. If you have loop count as 1 previously, right? So observe here when you save this, like this infinite is getting checked, right?
Yeah.
Right. So and like but this will be applicable even though infinite is checked. This will be applicable. So now also it will run for only 1 minute. Okay, I didn't notice that this loop count as 1 here, that I missed that. Okay, so fine. So let it run, let it stop. It will be stopped in a minute actually. Yeah, you can see it stopped in a minute, right? So see here, it started at what time it is started? 10. Started thread group num1, so it started at around 10, right? And it stopped at 10:01. Correct? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right, so it stopped at 10:01. So it ran for only 1 minute because the loop count is 1 here previously. If you open the results file, you can see that. Let me open the results file, the test2 results. AOS test2 results.jtl. Okay, and so you can see here. So we ran with 10 users, right? So that's why you see 10 samples. You see only 10 samples, right? Login, navigate to laptops page, you see 10, and home page, you see 10, right? So 10 into 11, you have 11 products, right? 10 into 11, that is 110. You see, that's why you see number of samples as 110. You got it? So that is because of that loop count value, right? Now also it ran for a minute, right? Now I removed that loop count value. So I removed that loop count value, and when I save the script, you can see even if you uncheck this, when you keep some specified thread lifetime and give some duration, observe here, I unchecked this, right? But if when you save the script, you see, right? See, and this infinite got checked. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So but it will run for only like whatever duration. So if you don't specify any duration from the command prompt, it will run for 60 seconds. Ikkada manam, so suppose if we skip this value, we don't give any value over here, sorry, test duration, this one, you
Duration.
skip this value, ఇది ఇవ్వలేదు అనుకోండి, if you don't pass any value, it will take duration as 1 minute only, as per as per the default value. Clear? ఇక్కడ మన స్క్రిప్ట్ లో we gave 60 seconds kada, it will take 60 seconds only if you don't specify that value. But if you specify the value here as 300 or whatever it is, if you specify the value here, it will take that as the test duration. Now it will run for 5 minutes. Okay, so let me run for the last time. We'll close this, we'll run this and close for 5 minutes, and we'll close this. Okay, no, you have to run from the bin folder, right? Oh, sorry. Let me change the results file name. Okay, I'll give the results file name as mm, test3 results. The results file should be created in AOS folder, right? It's created test3 results.jtl. And you can see now it will run for 5 minutes. It should run for 5 minutes now. So test is started at 10:05, as you can see here, 10:05. Okay, so it will run till 10:10. Okay, so like we have seen that test is run for 10 5 minutes now as per this, and with 10 users, right? Now if you want to run the test with say some 50 users, you can just simply change the properties over here and you can run that. You can just simply like without modifying the script, or without making any changes in the script, like you can do that from you can change the properties over here, and you can rerun the test with whatever count you want, whatever values you want. I gave you number of threads as 50 and ramp up as 50 seconds, and test duration with the same 10 minutes, right? And if you see the log file, you can see like users will be ramped up, like 50 users will be ramped up. Right now you can see it is going beyond 10, right? Because we gave 50 users will be ramped up in 50 seconds.
సార్ ప్రతి స్క్రిప్ట్ కి లాగ్ ఫైల్ అనేది న్యూగా క్రియేట్ అవుద్దా సార్ ఫ్రెష్ గా?
Yes, log file will be created, a new log file will be created for every test run.
ఓకే సార్.
So previous log file will be overridden. When you start a test, what happens is this previous log file will be overridden, and it will be created. It will create a new file, a new log file. Right now you can see, right? So you can see like 50 users are ramped up now, right? Because we gave the property as 50, right? So we gave num threads property as 50 here, right? That's why you can see like 50 users are ramped up now, and you can see the results file. Okay, results file, I did not create a new one. That's why you will get, let me load that new file, right? Now you can see like previous test was run with 10 users. Now this test is running with 50 users, right? Why you are seeing previous test results? Because we did not create a new file. Old file only we are writing that into the old results file, the previous results file. That's why you are seeing here 10, and then here you are seeing 50 users. Is clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm stopping the session here. Okay. Okay, so I'm closing the session, guys. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, Kishore.